If you're an American watching this, then you are definitely familiar with the Halloween tradition of trick-or-treating. I have so many fond memories of dressing up in costumes as a kid and going door to door collecting candy. And later, as I discovered more about paganism, I was so excited to learn that trick-or-treating in part derives from earlier Celtic pagan celebrations. So get yourself a cup of tea and perhaps a Halloween treat, and let's dive right into the pagan origins behind trick-or-treating. The tradition of trick-or-treating has a really complex history, but it's believed that it derives in part from a Celtic pagan activity that took place on Samhain. In my previous video, I mentioned how Samhain is a precursor to the holiday most people call Halloween, and that it was considered to be a liminal time among the ancient Celtic peoples. This means that the division between the realms on Samhain night would be very thin, and different spirits such as the Fae could cross over into our dimension. The Fae are neither good nor evil, but they are definitely known for causing mischief. In order to placate these spirits and make sure they didn't cause harm, the Celtic pagans would leave offerings for them outside their home. So here you can kind of see how the concept of trick-or-treating comes into play. People would leave treats outside their door for the spirits so they wouldn't get tricked by them. The tradition of costume wearing may also derive from these earlier Celtic Samhain celebrations. Over time, instead of just leaving offerings for the spirits outside, people would wear masks and impersonate the spirits. Then they would go around town and collect the offerings on the spirits' behalf. They also believed that by dressing like the spirits, it would also protect you from them. This tradition continued to change and evolve with time, and by the Middle Ages, the tradition of going door to door in costume became popular in the form of what is called mumming. Mumming is where people on certain days would go around their village in costume and perform short plays. By the 15th century, the British began referring to this holiday as All Hallow Tide, which was a combination of the Christian holidays of All Saints' Eve, October 31st, All Saints' Day, November 1st, and All Souls' Day, November 2nd. During All Hallow Tide, people would make and give soul cakes as a way to commemorate the dead. They would go door to door distributing these cakes in an activity called souling. So, like many holiday traditions, trick-or-treating is a combination of ancient pagan practices and their later Christianized versions. I find it interesting that despite the fact that Halloween's origins lie in Europe, it's Americans that are really mostly celebrating it today. The earliest recorded reference to Halloween being celebrated here is from 1915, and the tradition of trick-or-treating really didn't become a widespread practice until 1930. I sometimes wonder what it is about American culture that allowed Halloween to become so popular here. I don't really have an answer, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it interesting. And comment below if you participated in trick-or-treating when you were younger, and also comment what your favorite Halloween treat is. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!